Hi, my name is Chrissy New, and I am the instructional coach at Shimek Elementary. Today, I'm going to talk to you about Leading Indicator 1.4. For Leading Indicator 1.4, collaborative teams regularly interact to address common issues regarding curriculum, assessment, instruction, and the achievement of all students. We, on our survey results from the fall of 2022, you are going to see that our students ranked us as a 3.8, our staff was a 4.4, parents 4.3, and our administrator a 4.8. Now, those numbers might seem high, but we still consider this an area of growth, and I will explain why. Since this data was collected, our school and district has taken PLCs as a priority. Last year, in the 2023 school year, the district put all of the small schools who had single sections together to make one super PLC called the Fab Five. This PLC met after school for 45 minutes once every other week. Our focus was on math and our priority standards. We felt that we could not get enough traction with the instruction and talking about the different instructional routines through the framework. It wasn't consistent, and unfortunately, our data did not support the continuation of doing the Fab Five. We would like to go back to what we were doing before the 2023 school year, which had higher results, as you could see on our data from the survey, and our students' data also would support going back to having single building PLCs. So before we went to the Fab Five, our data was showing that data teams are in place in our school. Our staff ranked that at a 4.3. Our administrator said that our school's PLC collaborative teams create common assessments. All of that was happening even during our Fab 5 PLCs. Today, I'm going to talk to you about our lagging indicators for 1.4. I will be talking to you about how we create our schedules, our PLC template, what the SIG data tells us, and you will see 3 PLC videos. The first lagging indicator and artifact is our schedule. When creating the master schedule, our administrator places PLC times for each team in the schedule first. So our PLC times take place during back-to-back specials or during a class's art time, which is 57 minutes. Below is a snapshot of our building weekly calendar. You can see that every grade level and our special ed team also has a designated PLC time each week. The next is our PLC template. A team of Shimek instructional leaders attended the PLC Plus conference. After attending the conference, we knew we needed to revamp how we did PLCs. So we created a new template. For a long time, our focus was only talking about students in Tier 2 and 3, and no wonder we weren't seeing the gains of all of our students. So now our focus is on all students. As you can see here, here is how we changed our PLC template. The top, we have our calendars and pacing guide. It's a one-stop shop. They have everything they need there. We also have our priority standards that our district has created. You're going to see there is a date, team members present, and each team has their own template where their norms are going to be embedded. Our big 3 are PLCs, our focus on standards, and implementing our NASA elements. For our school improvement plan, we really are focused on reading, math, and our social emotional behavioral health. For every meeting, we love to start off with celebrations. We need to be celebrating ourselves and our students all the time. After all of that, you're going to see that we have what do we want students to learn? That's where we look at an upcoming lesson or unit and we identify the priority standard for that unit. We then write that priority standard. We come up with our learning targets and our I can statements. We then create a SMART goal. We like to then talk about our guaranteed and viable curriculum. When are we going to be teaching this unit? What materials are we going to be using? What resources or professional development might we need to enhance our instruction? And then what NASAT element do you really want to focus on when teaching your lessons? Our second area is going to then be how will we know they learned it, which is so important. How will we know our instruction was effective? This is where we create our CFA. Now, with that, we create our own CFAs. We might take a unit assessment. We might just take a couple of those, or we just create our own problems. But everyone is giving the same CFA on the same day. After that is given, we bring back our data. And this is something from the PLC Plus conference that we really liked. It talks about what parts of these data catch our attention. We just want facts. We don't want opinions in this. Then we always, what is there to celebrate? We have to celebrate the good things that our kids are doing. And then what are some possible challenges that our data is suggesting? And then our key conclusions. The next area, how do we respond if they have not learned it? So we talk about who hasn't quite grasped our standard yet. And we talk about how and when are we going to be able to intervene and make sure that they understand the standard. And then for those who have a strong understanding, how do we continue to enrich those who have learned it and need to go beyond? So this is the PLC template that we had created after attending the PLC Plus conference, and we have tested it out for 2 years now and absolutely love it. The next thing that our district has adopted is something called a SIG. And a SIG is going to be a rubric, and it's called the Strategy Implementation Guide. And this comes from Amplify Your Impact. And what we do is 3 times a year, it's a rubric that helps us look at how our collaborative teams or PLCs are doing. So here is an example of a kindergarten SIG from our Fab 5 that I was facilitating. And you're going to notice that it has anchor statements. So for example, anchor 1, educators work in collaborative teams and take collective responsibilities for student learning rather than working in isolation. We always start with the applying. Now, in order to move to innovating, you have to be doing everything in the applying stage. So, do we have assigned meaningful times? Is it at least 45 minutes? Is each team, does it have norms, protocols, goals, and a stated understanding? Is it focused on improving teacher and student learning? Are educators' independent reflections, are they aiding the learning of every member? Like, are they sharing? All members visibly contribute to the meeting. So if you have all of those in the applying, then you get to go to innovating. Now, you have to be able to mark all of them to be considered innovating in the innovating column. So for number one, my kindergarten team does consider themselves to be innovating. For anchor two, you're going to see again, they consider themselves as an innovating team. Now, but if you get down to three, you can see that they marked that every few weeks they're not administering common assessments for the area of math. Okay, so they would just be the applying stage. But now you can see in number four, they're not even doing everything in the applying stage, so they are going to be considered developing. And this is just a great guide to watch us grow over the school year and give us some action plans and focuses to help us improve during our PLCs. The next are going to be a series of videos of our Shimek second grade PLC. The first video in video A is going to be the team, second grade team, is focused on Unit 8. We take a look at our priority standards and we identify and create two different CFAs, pre assessments and post CFAs, to give to the students before instruction and after instruction. We also go into talking about when we will give those and bring back our data and when instruction will take place. PLC video B is going to be when we bring back our post unit data from our CFA. For PLC video B, you are going to see the teachers bring back their post CFA data and talk about those students who have responded to instruction and those students who might still need to be intervened the last unit of the school year. The last video is an example of how we took our last unit in math and discussed what standards we needed to get another temperature check on, what lessons those are taught in, and then at the end of the unit, which questions from the CFA or the end of unit assessment are we going to give to show that the students are performing proficient on each of those standards. Now, we took the end of unit assessment. We did not give every single problem. We did not feel the need to have to give multiple problems of the same standard. 2 to 3 was sufficient enough because we had previous CFAs to help provide us with other information regarding each of those standards as well. So, again, yes, our data might say that leading indicator 1.4 is an area of strength, but PLCs are always an area where everybody can grow. Teachers are always growing, and this is a time that we can do that. Thank you.